One thing that's actually getting picked up a lot in the certification world is called the team charter. We have the team come together and they tell us how they want to perform on this project. In the professional world, a lot of times you see it in conversations around schedule, working hours. There are those that want everyone on the team working from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. so that no matter what comes up, they know that person's available and can respond to them. And there's a lot of people that say, no, I don't want to do that. My work is more focused work, and I'm more of a night person. I'd rather be able to sleep in a bit in the morning, take care of the stuff I need to take care of for life during the day, and then log in overnight to take care of the work itself. So you can have that conversation. You can let the people come to the agreement of, all right, what is the work we actually have to do? Why do we want to do things a certain way? And then sign on to that agreement. I've actually used that idea for over a decade in the guiding world. Every time I've taken one of my international guiding trips out, I'll meet up with the high schoolers on the first day. I will hand them their budget in cash, which is just really entertaining because 2 weeks worth of budget for up to 16 people is a pretty big stack of cash. And you see their eyes get really big with a, oh dear, I've never seen that much money. And I usually say, all right, it's your trip, it's your money, distribute it however you want. The only thing I ask is that you make sure that if one person gets robbed, we don't lose all of the money. Other than that, figure out how you want to make sure that we got this. And then I tell the team, since this is your trip, I want you to tell me what your rules are going to be. I want you actually telling me what you're going to do, how you're going to behave, and how you're going to hold each other accountable to that while we're on this trip. I go away, I come back 20 minutes later, and they have their checklist of all of the things that you would expect and otherwise be handing them of the, we need to be respectful, we need to communicate with each other, we need to make sure we are all pulling our own weight. And even the things like, keep in mind, these are all high school students. We're not going to sneak out of the hostel in the middle of the night and see which clubs are still open while we're in the developing world. When we're walking through Cuzco, we're not going to take the cocaine from the person who hands it out to almost every other person that walks by. True story, both in Cuzco and Cambodia, I've had times where students have said, yeah, that guy over there is trying to see if I want any cocaine or some pot. I was like, anyone take it? And they're like, no, we said we weren't going to do that on this trip. That's against our school policies, and we all want to make sure that we're still eligible for our varsity sports. When they came up with those things on their own, they hold each other accountable for it, and they recognize why they're doing it. Even with adults, if you hand them a set of ground rules, especially if you don't give them some rhyme or reason behind them, they're going to poke the bear. They're going to find out where the line is. By the time we get to high school, we are cognitively capable of making decisions for ourselves. This day and age, a lot of high school students haven't had the experience of needing to do that yet. And so it can sometimes be a little bit of that waiting game for them to realize, oh, I actually have to make these calls now. But with the professional world, when I've built team charters for teams that were actually having issues and the company was considering disbanding the team and restaffing them because their productivity was too low, you come in, you have everyone talk, they come to an understanding of, oh, this is why people want to be able to do things a certain way, or, well, it might be my preference, but if as long as we have something that I can come back to and understand how things are happening, that's really what that team charter really gets us on board with.